Hello and welcome to another week at Sambo iRacing. We're back with another track guide, this time in the Porsche 911 992R GT3 Challenge fixed setup. Whew. And we are at Watkins Glen Boot for this week. So if you're new to my channel, what we do is a hot lap, a breakdown, then we're back in the cockpit one final time with the driving line on. Any questions, let me know in the comments. Let's start. Okay, let's start the hot lap. Okay, so we're up to 6th gear. We're looking for the 150 there or thereabouts, all the way down to 3rd gear, back on the gas at the apex, smoothly back on with the power. Now we're going flat out all the way to inner loop. Hugging it round tight. Giving those rumble strips a nice little kiss, and if you've got a butt kicker like me, nice little bottom massage. Right, we're looking for just after the 200, maybe just before. Down to 4th gear, back on the gas. We're going to do a lift now, tiny on the brakes, and we're looking for the marshal slot on the right hand side. As soon as we can see it, bang, back on the gas. Up to about 60%, drop it down to 3rd. Quite a slippy corner, mid-corner, you can see me just trying to check if I've got the grip there. Looking for the 200 meter board again, go through that and brake up to about 70%, all the way down to 3rd gear. Again, quite a slippy corner, it's full of them here at Watkins. Once again, we go past the 200, just before the 100, brake up to nearly 80%, drop it down to 3rd gear. You can see it's really important that we trail brake on each of these corners. Down to 2nd gear, slidey as anything. Up to 4th. Up to 5th, just a lift. Back on the gas, back over to the left-hand side. A little dab on the brakes, up to about 50%. Try and get on the gas as early as possible. Maybe gone a fraction earlier, and again I nearly hit the wall, so who knows. Right, and over and across the line in a 143.813. I do think that a decent setup would be worth a second or so around here. This is the fixed setup, and yeah, default brake bias. Okay, breakdown lap. So first braking marker, just before the 200 meter board. So just before we get there, I'm going to brake up to 70%, so not overly hard. Dropping it down to 3rd, trail it off all the way down to the apex. Start building back up on the gas. As I leave the apex, I'm up to 100%. Nice and smooth. The Porsche likes smooth. I'll flat out through here. Giving the rumble strips a kiss. A little tickle. Right, next braking marker, again, just before the 200 meters, it comes up on the left-hand side. We're braking up to only about 40% there. We're getting off the gas. Just a tiny little dab on the gas. Sorry. Only a tiny little dab on the brakes at the 2nd apex. Then we hit the gas really quite hard. Sorry, it is 6:45 a.m. as I'm recording this. Back on the gas. Now, we're going to get out to the left-hand side here. So once we're out here, we're coming off the gas. We're just on the brakes, only up to about 8%. Not so much to slow the car down, it's just to sort the balance out, get the weight over the front. And what I'm looking for on the right-hand side of the screen, I'm already on half gas. But once I see the marshal's hut hove into view on the right-hand side of the screen there, that's when I give it full beans. And I know I'm going to be able to make the back end of the corner. Right, this one, there is no real braking marker that you can see. There is this storm drain on the right-hand side that just as you get there, that's where you're braking up to about 60%. We drop it down from 5th to 4th to 3rd, and we start building back up. Now, as you can see, I just gave the steering wheel just a little shake there just to check where the grip was. So it's important to know that the rear is gripped up before you get on the gas. Over to left-hand side. So this time it's just after the 200 meter marker. And just before the 100, we're braking up to about 70% again, 2/3. Dropping it down to 4th, long trail off, dropping it down to 3rd. And now I build back up on the gas. I had to come off very slightly there as the rear was just getting loose. but only very briefly. Back up to 100% midway through the corner. Exit nice and wide. You got this extra piece of track here. Again, our braking marker here for the heel, turn 8, just after the 200, just before the 100. We're braking up to about 80% here, so the hardest we're probably braking in this lap. Trailing it off, dropping it down to third. We get on the gas nice and early, earlier than you think, and that's because we can go all the way out to this grass here without it being an off-track. Whenever I'm doing a race here, I'll always see someone just sticking within the track limits. This is the track limits as well. There's no X. Up to fourth gear. Just before we get to the top of the hill, we're going to brake not overly hard, only up to about 50%. Drop it down to third, trail it off down to the apex. I drop it down to second, and again, I'm just feeling, waiting for that rear to grip up so I can open the steering wheel and hit 100% on gas. We're going to change up to fourth gear here, ahead of the turn 10. Up to fifth, sorry, and then we do a big lift, almost down to nothing, and then at the apex, start building back up on the gas. You are going to exit out wide, then get back over to the left-hand side, and our final braking marker is the end of this tire wall on the left-hand side here. So you see the tire wall painted a nice light sky blue, and we brake up to about 50%, drop it down to fourth, drop it down to fourth, leave it in fourth, get on the gas just ahead of the apex. The earlier the better there. Don't hit that wall. And there we have it. That's the breakdown lap. We have one final version coming up with the driving line on without me talking